recording, yay, all that fun stuff. Yeah, so if you are joining us, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. If you're on Twitch, um, welcome. I do post updates to these on my Twitter account on when I'm going live, when I'm posting a video. I'm doing a tip of the day kind of thing for fun at the moment, where I give out tips per day, so pretty fun there. I did a VOD review yesterday. It's posting to YouTube today. I have to get things a little bit more solidified. But yeah, if any of you have any questions while we're going, go ahead and ask them in the chat. If you are, of course, watching on YouTube, go ahead and watch it and post it there, and I'll answer any questions on YouTube as well. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are not talking about the potential meta. I think I'll cover some of my concerns with it and kind of explain why. And then I'll just cover the actual main topic now, which is honestly probably better than just meta-wise, and it's how to kind of like train yourself and how to get better faster. There's always that whole thing of, well, I want to get good, and then everyone's like, well, you just have to practice more. They never really explain why you practice, and mainly it's just because they don't know. So yeah, we'll cover that, and then we'll, at the end of it, cover what I think about the meta as we're in closing. So anyone who doesn't care about the possible upcoming meta is free to leave then, if anyone's here at all. Funny, sad joke. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. So a lot of basics with like learning a character and actually getting good at a character is practicing certain aspects of it. So let's take Genji for example. What we're doing is we want to, in order to actually get to like practice and get and train your skills, you want to take an aspect of it, aspect of the character's kit, and focus purely on that. So, for example, let's say I want to learn how to do the one-shot combo with Genji. So what I can do is do this and just practice in the training range, just getting the movement down. Just the dash in, dash out, doing that. And then we can go into like a quick play game and go through, and this is on the other side of it as well, as if you have an account for DPS or something like that, that you feel it's on the same level, go ahead and play comp. The only time I don't suggest that is when you're purposely like doing things weird, like we're gonna end up doing. But yeah, so there's that with Genji, where you basically take an aspect of his kit and you practice that. Other aspects that you can actually train is, let's say you train with Tracer, and so we're going to be like, okay, let's practice using just like walking side to side and not using abilities that often. That is completely viable. So just practicing that, and it's basically, it's not necessarily like practicing the skill, but it's practicing the decision. So what you do is you take it to the extreme, you take it to the minimum. So for this example, like with Tracer, where we can play a very passive Tracer and we can play a very aggressive Tracer. In solo queue, a good Tracer is one that's constantly in the backline harassing. In team environment, you want the Tracer to engage at the same time as your main team, or else they just die. So getting that stuff down, and then also keeping track of pretty much cooldowns and all that stuff. So yeah, all that stuff with Tracer can do for stuff like Rhine, practicing, shield hopping, so just getting into that of moving forward and doing it. And then, so just doing practice range and just like practicing the mechanics of it. Another good thing that you can do is going into a custom game and going up against bots. So if you actually just set up a random recommended characters in a custom game, that's a good way to do it. So yeah, let's see what other ones do we want to cover. Characters that are projectile. I project now. Projectile, I project. Haha. I suggest practicing tracking movement at a distance. So for example, we want to track right there. So we're leading them. It's basically the leading tracking. So you're leading where you think they're going to be. Far is a similar way, especially in 4v4 duels. You just kind of lead where they're going to be while you're in air. So yeah, if anyone wants to know specific things to actually get better at as a character, for characters, we can cover them in here. But a lot of them you can come up with yourself. If you're not able to, don't worry. I can answer some questions if you want specifics. But a lot of it is if you're having problems with the mobility, just going around and just kind of getting it down into place. So like Farah, I'm like feathering it. And then I'm kind of jumping back up afterwards. So I can feather for so long. And then I have to go up again. So I can be a little bit more aggressive. There's a lot of wiggle room with this. So I can do this kind of stuff. So I can fall down and move up just slightly. So there's a lot of wiggle room to like Farah's mobility. So yeah, there's those kind of stuff. So this necessarily isn't of like good ways to actually play a character, or, and this is honestly like not really true into the strat chat nature of where we talk about stuff of, well, okay, I think that's technically wrong because we do talk about how to get better both mentally and physically, which is basically Overwatch in a nutshell. But like for Hammond, what you want to do is you want to just go into a custom game and just swing around, and then you kind of get used to it. Yeah. So let's go ahead to a custom game and just kind of fly around as Hammond and kind of get used to the whole Hammond movement. Yeah, let's just go. Let's go. We'll shake it up with other training as well. Here we go. So yeah, movement there, quick move out. Those are like just quick grapples. For this kind of movement, you want to go as high as you can up. And I don't want to go too far out, so I want to hook there. So it's just about like if I want a more shallow turn, well, okay, that's not right. So let me show you this one. This one's like a quick hook, which means I don't really get much height, but I gain speed a lot more faster. So there's like an acceleration. So if you do like the stereotypical grapple a center point, actually we can just do that. So like if you do the stereotypical grappling the center point, you just kind of spin. It takes a little bit to get up and you're not really going that fast. So to get like more acceleration, you can do other things. So if you do like this, you just kind of hook into them. So that's a long hook. You can do short hooks, and it's just practicing like that mobility and then just figuring out what you can do with it. So like you can do that and just kind of practicing that and getting it down. Honestly, I think the number one thing to practice for a Hammond player is just the quick hook of like, okay, I need to get into a certain position. Oh, hey, they're going down that hallway. Okay. And then I go boom, through them. So just getting that whole movement stuff down is pretty great. If I want to get onto the high ground thing, I'll just go hook and then just hook there. And it's like most of it is knowing. I need to mute myself in the game even though there's no one there. Most of it's knowing how something acts. So that's something to practice as well, is just learning how things act. And then, of course, there's always the hook and pull. You have to jump before you hit there. I always forget that. See? There we go. So sometimes with those that are kind of weirdly placed, jumping before you hit them is better because you bounce up sometimes. But yeah, just getting the practice, figuring out what you can hook onto as well is nice. Of course, there's the mobility where you practice. See, you can change your rotation. So like, let's say I slow myself down, boom, we're getting closer. Slow myself down, boom, we're there. Slow myself down, boom, we're right there. Slow myself down, boom, right there. And then I speed up. And then I can actually reverse the rotation, and now I'm right there. So a bunch of different things you can do. And then practicing just like transforming to stop your momentum, just all that kind of stuff. So this kind of stuff where it's just mobility, I would say just go into a custom game and just practice itself. So doing that kind of stuff. There's also pile drive working, so doing this thing. That kind of stuff. You just turn and you just grapple back on. And other things as well, let's kind of wait for pile drive to come back, is if you get booped off. Oh no! I'm back. So that's some ways to kind of save yourself. Those are tips, but like for learning Hammond, let's just pick a random one. Clicked a random one. So yeah, I'll show other things that you can do. Just getting used to it, finding different landmarks. This is stuff that you can just do on your own without actually playing into a game. So great stuff there. Always can do fun things. If you don't need to use your grapple, don't have to. In that case, yeah, you can use your pile drive if you don't have grapple, but I suggest grapple anyways because of just time you have. So yeah. There's all that stuff there. Practicing movement, finding places. You can do no cooldowns and just no cooldowns is actually pretty good on just practicing quick flicks. So yeah, let me swap all. There you go. Lobby settings, heroes, general, ability cooldown time 0. So yeah, practicing that. Same thing you can do with Diva's Bomb. I do that every so often. So I just have a custom game presetting, which I think is locked right now, which is kind of confusing, but where she just has her ult all the time, and I just practice hitting her with bombs. So yeah, there's different things you can do. So like right now we have no cooldowns, so you can just be like, okay, what do I connect? Oh, a lot of people say, oh, the bridge, but no, let's try higher. And then see. So this is good just to practice like quick grapples. Just doing this kind of movement. Just do the whole flick and release if any of you have seen Spider-Man. Huh. This is solid. So yeah, just doing this. Sometimes you'll hit a tree. And just kind of like practicing getting used to quick flicks. Another good thing to practice is falling off a cliff. So, let me see. There you go. Okay. So yeah, like falling off a cliff like this. Boom. Oh no! Hit a tree. Ah! Oh, bad timing. So yeah, let's see what other heroes that you can practice movement. Winston. So you can practice Winston's movement by having enemy characters or just having a target spot. Like let's say we want to hit the trash can. So let's just jump. So yeah, so practice hitting that, and then of course there's a short jump. So all that kind of stuff. Hitting those. So yeah, all those practices there. You can do that. Diva, yeah, of course. Pharah, yeah, of course. Tracer, practicing just movement. For stuff that's like projectile-wise, practicing with like Anna's grenade. Anna's grenade's like standardized a ton of stuff. So like translocators similar. So like just practicing and hitting certain things, moving around. Of course, having enemies is useful. Let's just team one. Let's see. So yeah, just hitting, just arcing and hitting those shots on the enemy characters is good. So yeah. So I'm practicing on hitting. So yeah, just practicing getting the. So see, I'm not even perfect on it because I haven't done this before. See, so just getting that practice down. Do the same thing with sleep dart. So, yeah, doing all this type of stuff. See. Just into practice doing this. Ton of stuff you can do. You can do similar things with like Genji. So just trying to do the jump in one-shot combo. So, yeah, I have to actually hit shots first. So yeah, just practicing that kind of stuff. It's not perfect. Of course, you'd probably want the Lucius to not have infinite cooldowns in those positions. Same thing with Genji himself. You don't want him with infinite cooldown. Just so that you can practice timing. So yeah, that's all the stuff there. Let's leave game. See what we have here. Now, Mystery Heroes, it's good practice because it doesn't let you, but actually now that I think about it, that's Mystery. That's not actually good. Regular APA is usually better. Otherwise, quick play. So let's jump into quick play. And if anyone has a suggestion on a character that we want to practice a certain ability, go ahead and put them in chat. Otherwise, I would I'll randomly pick one. Let's see. Let me turn back on music. I don't know if you can hear it. Here we go. Who do we want to practice? Let's say we want to practice... Let's practice Ashe. Let's try a... Let's try a flanking Ashe. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get mid-range around a corner and hitting shots. Of course, we have a...
They got a Widowmaker and a Genji. And an Orisa and a Zarya. I don't know who their healer is. Genji is up above us. He went back over on the other side.
There we go.
Zarya is going towards point.
My ultimate is charging. Nano boost is charging. Supercharger powering up.
Of course. I suck. I was trying to do the quick scope in. I've been practicing that lately as well as just trying to close range quick scope. That's my personal practicing list. So now we're gonna just try to be high ground carriers.
My ultimate is almost ready.
I'm doing.
He's gonna burn to death though. Or survive it. I should have just hip fired him. He wouldn't have survived then.
I'm gonna get you for that.
So they're out. They're one healer.
Objective lost. Stop the. 'Fire in the hole! 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 '
Ooh. Yeah, I shouldn't have went for that when I saw the Widow. Oh.
Nothing wrong with a little self-improvement.
So usually in practicing, you don't really get much success because you're usually doing something that you usually aren't used to.
Smoke 'em out of there.
Walk it off. Dahi vida.
I stick up for mine. Here it comes.
So let's try. We're going to be very aggressive now. So we're rotating this around. Oop, missed that one. So let's go. Let's go flank Ash. So that one's a little awkward because they immediately turned around and looked at me.
They are getting on my nerves.
Jeez, I swear, like, hitbox registration on Ash is weird. I know I'm not the best shot, but I know I hit a lot more shots on Widowmaker than this. Okay.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Oh, she was high charge. I didn't know she was high charge. Jeez.
Nothing wrong with
Kill
a little
time.
self-improvement. Here it comes.
Dahi vida.
Oh, I killed myself. Fuck!
I'm on fire.
Nice job, Ash. You
There we go.
them.
So see? They're still playing Widow, by the way.
Here it comes.
Ah, missed that. So I'm also trying to practice zoning. I hate how it sticks to wherever it lands.
Smoke 'em out of there.
I'm ready to unleash my primal rage.
I was trying to duck there, but I jumped instead. That was dumb of me. See, not doing good, but it's okay. Jeez. Nice kill.
That was not the plan. Right on skid.
My ultimate is charging. Nice.
Move up and fly for this.
Tried to get the Widowmaker with that.
My ultimate is ready.
Move up with me. Rendezvous at my position.
So yeah, now I'm just trying to be sniper mode. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to use my dynamite as a zoning tool. Jeez. Okay. I should have probably held Bob. I thought that could possibly hook it and have him bop everyone up in the air, but it didn't occur. Bummer.
Okay, guys, I gotta go. Go do some stuff.
See,
Thanks for the games. Have a good day.
Thank you.
What a nice team. I did not die during that. I died after it. What hero should we do next? So yeah, that basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to use dynamite for zoning in some cases, and then I decided to switch things over to see effectiveness. And that way I found that pretty much best way was to wait for opportunities and then flank. Flank with ult was usually the best thing. And then pretty much playing pseudo sniper was good. I could play one where I'm basically spending the entire time behind the shield, but we didn't have a Reinhardt, so I couldn't really practice that.
Do something! I'm going smoke out of there! I'm on fire!
Man, not that bad. And I think after this next one, we'll call it. There you go. Finally.
Welcome to reality.
Hmm.
Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Let's see. So I'll practice Lucio. Actually, Anna.
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
So I'll show you guys my super passive god position on this map. So I have this staircase, and I have this as cover, so I can go up here, and it blocks me from that. And then I can rotate around here to get up onto the high ground up here. So a bunch of different places, and then, cherry on top, I have a large health pack underneath here that I can jump off there, and a small one right here I can jump off there.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
My ultimate is charging. Hey.
You're covered.
So as they get closer, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually rotate up onto the high ground, because then I don't need line of sight of this front.
Die, Peter.
Nailed it.
You're going to be okay. I will keep you healed. You're powered up. Get in there.
Hi.
Get back in the fight. This is going to hurt.
Need healing.
You're covered.
See? Completely safe.
Healed up.
We rotate around here.
I've seen one. You're going to live.
Need healing.
هناخد بالنا. Nap time.
Hey, they woke him up. It was their fault. I thought I went straight into the health pack. So yeah, it's great. I'm the last one to die usually.
My
I
ultimate is
wasn't cut out for
almost
retirement
ready.
anyways. Name.
Didn't expect them to wake him up.
Heroes never die.
You're powered up. Get in there. Name.
Seriously? I just want to see what happened here. That's max range hook, baby.
I'll rest one fight.
Wow.
Bob, do something.
Yep.
I will keep you
Moira
here.
by your side.
This will help. I've seen worse. You're going to live. You're covered. Heal up. Speed isn't everything. ده هيكون مؤلم. Bedtime.
You wake it up, it's your own fault.
This will help. You're powered up. Get in there. Go. I'll keep you here. This will only hurt for a bit. Heal up.
Shouldn't have gone for that. So I guess now I'm practicing more for just getting into interesting positions and trying to get as good as nades as possible.
I need healing. Output levels maximized.
Healing enough. You're covered. Get back in the fight.
Need healing.
Watching your back. You're covered.
Much obliged.
You're powered up. Get in there. This will help. You're going to be okay. Walk it off. أنا هاخد بالي منك.
Now I'm just practicing hip firing.
Take your medicine. Healing enough.
I need healing.
Nap time. I'm on fire. Keep out of my way. I've seen what you're going through.
Flank Ana.
They're almost out of time. Stop them here and now. Get here. I will keep you busy.
Yeah, that's a rip.
This is much
Well, that
better
was
than
a
Havana.
plethora of ults.
Farah reporting.
Get back in the fight.
Wow! They haven't got obliterated! Oh, there you go. That's gonna be it for me. See you guys.